Have you ever wondered why the worst things happen to you just when you are trying your absolute hardest to succeed and flourish? Meet Kael, a young weaver who views the black threads and knots in his life's tapestry as nothing more than a cruel, relentless curse. He believed that every failure was a personal attack from fate, an obstacle designed only to hold him back from his true potential. To him, these moments of suffering were like being trampled underfoot, leaving him broken and searching for answers in the cold, dark silence. Little did he know that each scratch and every blemish on his soul had a profound reason for existing within the grand design. One evening, as the shadows grew long, the air in his workshop began to shimmer with an ancient, otherworldly power he could not explain. Kael felt himself being pulled away from the physical world, entering a realm where the laws of time and space no longer held sway. In this place between breaths, he stood before the threshold of the infinite, where the secrets of every soul's journey are kept safe. He had reached the edge of time, a sanctuary where the past, present, and future converge into a single, breathtaking moment of clarity. There he met the Weaver of Time, the guardian who holds the primordial threads of the entire universe within his steady, ancient hands. The Weaver spoke in a voice like 1,000 bells, offering Kael a rare gift: the chance to change one single, painful moment. Without hesitation, Kael chose to remove the knot from his 20th year, the crushing bankruptcy that had destroyed his early dreams and wealth. With a wave of the Weaver's hand, the history of his life began to rewrite itself, smoothing out the jagged edges of his memory. Suddenly, the world around him transformed. The struggle was gone, replaced by an ease he had never known in his previous reality. In this new timeline, everything was perfect. Success came naturally, and every door he knocked on opened wide with a warm, inviting welcome. He became a man of great fortune, never knowing the bitter taste of rejection or the cold nights of hunger and deep uncertainty. Wealth flowed toward him like a river, and his reputation grew across the lands as a man who could do no wrong at all. His life's tapestry was now as smooth as a quiet lake, devoid of any visible flaws or the dark threads of past suffering. However, the Weaver had warned him that perfection is often a subtle trap, a beautiful cage designed by the irony of fate itself. Because he had never tasted failure in this new life, Kael began to lose the very qualities that once made his soul strong. Without the lessons of pain, he became prideful and blind to the dangers that lurked beneath the surface of his easy, golden success. Years passed, and he decided to invest all he owned into a massive, risky venture, lacking the caution that only hardship can teach. Because he had never known the sting of a small loss, he could not recognize the signs of an impending, total, and absolute catastrophe. The venture failed spectacularly, and since he had no inner resilience, his entire world began to burn down around him in an instant. He looked around to find his friends, but realized that his easy success had only attracted those who loved his wealth, not his soul. The perfection he craved had led him to a disaster far greater than the original knot he had fought so hard to erase. In his despair, he begged the Weaver to return. He finally understood that his perfect life was actually a fragile, hollow, and empty shell. The Weaver appeared once more, holding a single thick rope with many complex knots, each one holding a specific and important purpose. He explained that a knot is not a mistake in the thread. It is a point of ultimate strength, a place where the fabric resists. Adversity is like the roots of a great oak, which must push through heavy stone to find the deep water that sustains its life. Without the struggle against the wind, the tree would never develop the strength required to survive the truly great storms of the future. He showed Kael the blacksmith, who must heat the iron in the hottest flames and strike it repeatedly to create a blade of steel. The fire and the hammer are not enemies of the metal. They are the creators of its utility, its beauty, and its enduring power. The Weaver said that adversity is actually a hidden protection, a barrier that prevents us from wandering down even darker, more dangerous paths. Your failures were not meant to stop you, but to redirect you toward the person you were always truly destined to become in time. He realized that the black thread he hated so much was actually the very thing that gave his life its unique and beautiful pattern. The weaver restored the original timeline, and Kael felt the weight of his past struggles return. But this time, they felt like armor. He opened his eyes back in his humble workshop, the smell of old wood and the sound of the birds greeting the new day. He no longer looked at the black threads with resentment, but with a deep, quiet respect for the strength they represented in his work. Each knot reminded him of a lesson learned, a hardship survived, and a moment of growth that could never be taken away again. He was no longer rich in gold, but he was wealthy in spirit, possessing an empathy that only those who have suffered can truly share. Every step he took was grounded in the reality of his journey, a journey made meaningful by the very obstacles he once tried to delete. Never resent the scars you carry on your heart. They are not marks of shame, but medals of honor from the battle of life. Trust in the hands of the great weaver, for he knows that the darkest threads are often the ones that hold the most beauty. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, a unique blend of light and shadow that tells a story only you are capable of darning. Every time you face a challenge, remember that you are being tempered, refined, and prepared for a greatness you cannot yet fully see. The protection of fate often arrives in the form of a closed door, forcing us to find the window that leads to our destiny. Believe that everything is happening for you, not to you. Every setback is merely a setup for a much more powerful and meaningful comeback. Even in the hardest conditions, the soul finds a way to flourish, using the very pressure of the world to bloom with incredible vibrance. In the end, it is the depth of our experiences, both good and bad, that creates the richness of the life we lead every day. Let go of your anger toward the past. Embrace the lessons, cherish the growth, and step boldly into the light of your own future. Be your own lighthouse in the storm, knowing that your foundation is built on the solid rock of your own past endurance and strength. Write your own story with courage, including every chapter of pain, for they are the parts that make your eventual victory so sweet. The universe is a vast and beautiful tapestry, and you are a vital thread within its grand, intricate, and perfectly balanced design of life. Rise above the temporary clouds of your current struggle. From a higher perspective, you will see how perfectly every piece of your life fits. We are all weavers in our own right, sharing the same threads of humanity, struggle, joy, and the ultimate search for deep, lasting meaning. Follow the thread of your own intuition. It will lead you through the darkest woods and into the brightest fields of your soul's purpose. The weaver of time is always with you, guiding your hands as you continue to darning the beautiful, complex story of your very existence. Just like the lotus, you have the power to rise from the mud and bloom with a beauty that is untainted by your past surroundings. Every ending is a new beginning, and every failure is a seed for a future success that will be much more resilient and lasting. Your actions and your growth have a ripple effect, touching the lives of others in ways you may never fully realize or even imagine. Knowledge is gained through study, but true wisdom is only earned through the lived experience of our own most difficult and trying times. When you embrace your own flaws, you give others the permission to embrace theirs, creating a world of much more compassion and true grace. Morning always comes. No matter how long the night may seem, the sun will rise on a version of you that is much stronger. Let your heart be your compass, and let your past be your map. You have everything you need to navigate the journey of your life. Keep your sense of wonder alive. Even in the face of adversity, there is magic to be found in the way we grow and evolve. Continue to weave your life with pride, using every thread, both dark and light, to create a story that is uniquely and beautifully your own. For in the grand design of the weaver, every knot and every black thread is a testament to the incredible strength of the human spirit.